Hello and welcome. My name is Diana and I am a tarot reader and a transformational life coach here to assist you on your journey of spiritual and personal development. And in today's Pick a Card tarot reading video, I would like to give you a message from your future self. So if there is anything you would like to know about your personal growth, and the path of your personal evolution and transformation, then this might be just the right message for you to have a glimpse into the future. Okay, but now before you go on and select your tarot deck and your reading, do take a moment to pause everything that you're doing to think about what's currently going on for you in your life, what's important to you, what are your desires and wishes, what you are longing for, and how you envision your future to be like. Spend some time in that place within, and whenever you're ready, go ahead and pick one of the decks that speaks the most to you at the moment. Okay, so here you can see the 5 tarot decks for you to choose from to get the message from your future self. This is deck number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and lastly, number 5. Take some time to pick the one that is the right one for you at this moment. And once you're ready, take a look at the description box for timestamps and go ahead and listen to your reading. Hello, group number 1. So this is your reading if you picked the Raven's Prophecy Tarot deck, which was the first deck in my selection. And today, to give you a message from your future self, I have selected something that I call the arrow spread, which is a spread designed to indicate movement from the past to the future, moving through the present moment. And also we will be pulling one card from the Oracle deck for additional guidance and clarity. Okay, without further ado, what's going on for you? What does your future self want you to pay attention to? And in your present energy, you have the 7 of Coins. So this is an invitation for you to revise your long-term projects, to take a good look at those things that you have been working on for some time already, and you have maybe invested your time, your energy, and your money, depending on the nature of the project that we are talking about and what's on your mind. Have a look at those and see whether you feel that the investment is worth it or not. Because you could be having some plans for the future, some expectations, something that you really, really want to achieve. Maybe you have set some goals for yourself, and this is something that you want to realize in your life. But it's important to pause from time to time and to have an honest look at where I am currently, what's going on, and whether the fruits of my labor that I will receive sometime in the future will be really worth the work that I'm putting in currently. So you could also feel a sense of frustration right now in the present moment regarding your goals. Maybe you don't know whether it's worth continuing, or maybe it's just a waste of your time and energy and maybe even money, again depending on the specific type of your goal. So your future self is asking you to pay attention to all those things and really have an honest conversation with yourself regarding that. But the past, what about the past? What has brought you in this position? And here you have the 8 of Cups on one hand and the King of Swords on the other. So something has ended with the 8 of Cups, and you have moved on to another chapter of your life, or there is a sense of not being able to have a completion on something. And eventually that makes you, or that has made you walk away and look for other options. Or it also could be that you are still in this situation which is not bringing you emotional fulfillment, and that's precisely the reason why this Seven of Coins is coming up in your reading as your present energy, because you are still kind of there. You are still, maybe if it's a relationship, you are still in the relationship, even though emotionally you have already distanced yourself from that person. You find it hard to feel emotionally connected with them. Or if it's about your work situation, then it might be similar. You might not feel emotionally fulfilled in your job, but you still keep going to that place. You still keep working. You still keep building something in hopes that maybe sometime in the future it will bring some rewards and that it will all be worth it. But the King of Swords is also here in the past position, and that is your indication that you don't want this situation to just drift passively on its own somewhere. You want to take some concrete measures, and you want to be basically responsible for creating your life in a meaningful way. You don't want to let events reign here. You want to take those matters in your own hands with the King of Swords, because this is the type of energy that is very straightforward, very rational and objective, very goal oriented, and it really focuses on strategies and things that work in long term, and there is that smartness to it. So I know what I want to achieve, I know where I'm going, I know what my objectives are, and this is what I'm after. And I don't accept anything less than that, and I stay very focused on my path that I have set for myself. So there has been some moment of clarity for you with this regard. There could have been some heart-mind conflict here, or maybe not conflict, but you might feel sort of disappointed emotionally, and that has catalyzed this thinking process for you when you say, okay, I cannot make myself feel that way anymore. I cannot stay here. I need to move on somehow. So I need to come up with some clever solutions, some ideas, some strategies, something that will help me progress. And even though your heart may be hurting at that point. And now it's just a matter of your specific situation, whether you have started something new with the Seven of Coins and this is what you need to think about, or is this the same old situation that has not ended yet and you are trying to figure out how to make it work. So this really depends on your individual life stories. But nevertheless, you must take a look at those things one more time and be really honest with yourself. And the future. So what does your future self want you to know about this situation? Is this strength? So definitely this is an invitation for you to get back in touch with your own power. Irrespective of what you have been through and the disappointments you have experienced and all the things that failed in one way or another in your past, and maybe even the failures that you are perceiving to be present currently in your life, it is all a part of your journey, and it makes you only stronger. It gives you more power and wisdom and also clarity on what it is that you truly want and what it is that you don't want. And you are really approaching this from the right perspective with the King of Swords here. And that is something that your future self wants you to know. You are on the right track. And you are moving into your power, towards your strength. And you will become more and more independent and more able to really make that difference in your life and to build a more fulfilling life for yourself. Or if it's not your whole life, then that specific area of your life that you are concerned with regarding this message. So this is definitely something your future self really wants you to understand, that no matter how hard things may seem currently at the surface level, and no matter how much work you feel you need to put in without really getting anything in return, it will pay off eventually. But it may not be the exact way that you are thinking about currently, because it will result more in your personal growth, in the growth of your personal inner strength, which will make you more confident in your own abilities and also more aware of your dreams and goals and how exactly you want to go after them. And let's have a look at the Oracle card to wrap this message up. So what else you need to know? What else your future self wants to point out to you? Okay, it fell right on the floor. And actually you have two cards. The one is No Place Like Home, and the other is Message in the Bottle. So I think that what your future self wants to make very clear for you is that you need to find your authentic path with this No Place Like Home. And again, this is a general reading, so what it means to you could be so many different things that only you can know for yourself. But this is that place where you indeed feel like home. And that's why you need that confidence and that inner strength to be courageous enough and brave enough to follow that path that takes you home. And also, the Message in the Bottle card, it says that you will receive just the right information at just the right time when you need it the most. So do pay attention to the signs and synchronicities and messages, because your heart is communicating with you and it knows your struggle. It knows what you have been through. And if only you have this very strong belief that you can achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve, and if only you keep believing in yourself and your own ability, you will be communicated to. You will receive those messages that will eventually take you home. And don't worry, push through all the obstacles that you may be experiencing right now at this moment, and you will be just fine. So this is your message. I hope you liked it, or that at least you could have something useful out of it to take home. And I'll talk to you soon in my next video. Bye-bye. Hi, group number 2. Lovely to see you back. And this is your reading, your message from your future self if you picked the second tarot deck, the Ostara Tarot. I have chosen to do something that I call the arrow spread today for you. And it is a spread designed to show the movement from the past to the future through the present moment. Okay? And we will also be having one card from the Oracle deck for additional clarity and guidance. And your present situation, where you are currently. You have the Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands it's about endings and finishing things, but oftentimes there is this sensation of hardship and heaviness. Whatever comes to an end with the Ten of Wands has this feeling, oh, it's hard, it's really hard, and you may be overwhelmed by that. But this is something your future self wants you to pay attention to at this moment. So if you listen to this message, then think about the areas of your life you feel like that, where you feel burdened and where you feel that keeping up with something requires such a huge effort from your part, and you need to invest so much into something that it's getting already, well, basically it's draining your energy in some way. Or maybe there are areas of your life that currently requires you to work a lot and invest a lot, but you still feel good about that because you know what you are getting out of that. You know your goal and your purpose, and that is your inner motivation that drives you. Basically, this is what you are asked to look at this moment, because it has to do something with this message your future self wants to deliver to you. And when it comes to the past, what has led you to this point is the Three of Pentacles and also the Two of Cups. Actually, it does seem that you are currently trying to work on something and build something for yourself. Because on one hand, you have this Three of Pentacles card, which is exactly about that, about working towards a long-term goal, about building things, about putting in your work and energy to make something happen, whether it's a real concrete thing like a project, or maybe it's something, maybe it's a relationship or something along those lines, something that is not so physical. There could be already some kind of an accomplishment with this Three of Pentacles card, like a foundation that has been already there, and you are building upon that. So you keep moving forward with that, with this idea, with this project, with this intention or purpose that you have. And of course, while doing that, you are having great hopes for the future, and you are putting in your best intentions and your best attitude towards that to make that thing grow and flourish eventually in time. And the other card, the Two of Cups, it really shows that this is something that is really connected with your heart. Because the Two of Cups, yes, this card is often looked at in a romantic context when there are two lovers, and it often indicates romantic love. But yes, and of course it could be about a relationship, but it also could be that you are falling in love with an idea or with your goal, something you want to achieve. Maybe you have found your purpose and you want to get it on. You want to progress and do something about that. You want to share your gifts with the world. So basically, there is something in your hearts that you feel this close connection to, and it serves as a source of inspiration, and it brings love to this project and your intention. So you have some very, very good intentions here. But for some reason, with this Ten of Wands in the present situation, it's a bit hard for you at the moment. And I think this is precisely why your future self wants you to have a look at that, because you are really pouring your soul into this thing, whatever it is, but maybe there are some aspects that you don't see. Maybe there are something that you could be doing a bit differently or approaching this thing from a little bit different angle to make it easier for you. Or maybe you need to simplify things in some way and not to take on so much, not to drain yourself and not to have any burnout, so that you can keep going and really achieve your goal in the long term. And when it comes to the future, you have the Hermit. So this is a card that invites you to connect with your inner wisdom and become more independent when it comes to your life's path and following your life's path. It does seem that you need to do a little bit of a soul searching here, because it seems that you need to find a fresh and refined perspective on this intention or goal of yours. Because your current approach is not really the most effective approach. And the Hermit is about going within and really searching for those answers and searching for that new perspective. And it's about being very, very independent and autonomous. So it's important here that you connect with your true vision, that you really can articulate what your vision is and what are your beliefs and what is it specifically that you want to bring into this world. How does it look for you? And be very, very clear and very, very specific, because that is a process you are moving towards right now. And all the hardship and overwhelm you may be feeling right at this moment, it does not have to be there, you see? If only you connect back with your vision and become crystal clear about what it is that you actually feel to be very, very true in your heart and what is your actual message you want to deliver, then you will be able to move past those hardships and difficulties, and you will be able to make more clever choices for yourself, and your path will be easier. But you just need to turn within and look for those deeper reasons and the deeper motivation, because it could be that you are losing your motivation at this point a little bit, and your future self doesn't want that to happen, because whatever you have started, you must keep going. You must continue with it, because it is something with a beautiful potential of growth and success. Just don't give up presently and don't assume that it's too hard for you. You just need to reconnect with your purpose once again, clarify it once again, first and foremost for yourself, and then turn it outwards again and keep going. And Oracle card, oh, here it is right away. Your message says to the sea. So you have this period of, how to say that, there are so many options that, and so many different possibilities and roads that you could choose, that you could get confused. And you are sort of in this very huge and open space where it's all happening, it's all there, and maybe that is exactly what overwhelms you at this point. And how do you navigate in the sea? What is that compass that you use to find your way to anything? Because there is no land, you don't see anything. You can feel lost and confused in that open space, in that vastness where you just don't know which is your true direction. So your future self wants you to find that inner guidance, that inner compass. And that's why the Hermit card is here. That's why you need to do the soul searching, and that's why this is your next step, and something that you really, really must do at this point, because that will give you that inner guidance and that clarity of your vision of what it is exactly you want to achieve. And you won't get lost in the sea. You will be able to orient yourself beautifully and navigate towards your goals and the realization of your goals just fine, if only you have that inner guidance in place. And so, again, you will be able to pick more specific tasks for yourself that won't be as overwhelming as it is right now. And you will be able to say no to those opportunities and options and obligations and tasks that are not as relevant, or maybe not relevant at all, to your vision. So this is that refinement process that your future self wants you to go through. And again, the message that you need to hear the most right now is that you are on the right track. It's just that you are a little lost at the moment, but you do have an ability to find your path again. And that is exactly what you must do. So this is it, group number 2. I wish you nothing less than that, and I truly hope that you will be able to find your inner guidance so that you can really make your dreams a reality. Okay, I'll talk to you soon in my next video. Bye-bye. Hello once again. This is your reading if you picked the 3rd tarot deck, the Stokes Gothic Tarot. And today, to give you the message from your future self, I have chosen to do something that I call the arrow spread, which is a spread designed to show movement of energy from the past to the future, touching upon the present moment. And this is exactly what we are going to do for you today. And also, I will be having one card from the Oracle deck for additional clarity. Okay, so your present situation. What is your future self wants you to focus on right now? And you have the 7 of Wands. So you are asked to focus on those aspects of your life that seems that you need to fight for them. Because the 7 of Wands is that kind of energy when you have an idea or something and you really need to fight to get that idea through. Or maybe you have already conquered your positions and now you are having a lot of competition and opposition, and there are others that desire to be in your place. So you really need to stand your ground and really fight for what you have achieved. So whether it's something that you want to keep or something you want to progress with, it's a struggle. It's a struggle for you, and it requires some effort, or maybe even a lot of effort and energy from your side, and your future self wants you to pay your attention to that and think of those areas of life where you feel like that. Maybe you have a goal that you want to achieve, and this is exactly that. This is exactly what you are reminded of in this reading. So when it comes to the past, what has brought you here? So you have the 9 of Wands, another card from the Suit of Wands, and the Emperor. So I do think that you are onto something, group number 3, because the Emperor is about expansion and increasing your territory of responsibility. So you are willing to take on more, to expand, to grow, and by doing that, you also become more responsible. It is like when you get a promotion, you have more responsibilities and duties, and you need to take care of more things, but then you are in this position of authority, and you are the one making decisions now, and you are the one who needs to plan the strategy and who says the final word, this is what we are going to do. And it could be a work-related situation, of course, since this is a general reading, but it could also be some kind of a personal goal, a relationship goal, anything that's currently on your mind and anything that you have wanted to up level, and that has led you to this moment when you feel that you really need to push through or defend yourself. And it could be even the way you look at life, your perspective, your mindset, your worldview. Maybe you have found with this emperor that this is what I truly believe in, and this is something that I will bring into the world. I will spread my beliefs because I believe that this is true, and I will really do that. I will take the reins in my hands and make a difference. And the Nine of Wands is somewhat similar to the Seven of Wands. It is like that moment before the final battle when you need to recollect yourself and really find the resources to make that last move to come out victorious. Or maybe it's just you feel that you don't have that energy left and you need to take a break, you need to take a step back and rest. But the Nine of Wands is like that preparation stage when you really think about what is your motivation and why you want to achieve the things that you want to achieve. What drives your action, and can you still rely on that motivation? But you have some serious intentions here with the Emperor card, and you are still sort of struggling with that because there is some resistance that are felt. The Nine of Wands, the Seven of Wands, there is resistance, and it could be draining you, and it could be confusing you. And even though you have good intentions with the Emperor and you really want to take on responsibility for your life, for this thing or this idea, but this resistance that you feel makes you question, am I doing things correctly? And will I be able to follow through to the very end? And will I be able to achieve what I want to achieve? Will I be able to be persistent enough, committed enough, relentless enough to make this work, to achieve my dream or goal? So those questions could be currently bothering you. And it's important because your future self wants you to have a look at them. And where are you headed towards your future? Two of Cups. So you will eventually find yourself in a situation which is responsive and open to your message and able to reciprocate the message or whatever it is that you want to progress with here in this reading, whatever is on your mind. Because Two of Cups is about love and connection. It is often looked at in the context of romantic love. So if this is a relationship and you are pursuing a person, like an actual person, then the Two of Cups is a very good omen that you will be together in a relationship and you will have that beautiful romance going on for you. But if this is not a relationship but more career-related goal or some other kind of a personal goal or other goal, then the Two of Cups is here to say that whatever you are trying to achieve, you will be satisfied and you will have that emotional fulfillment when you really connect with that thing that you desire to create for yourself. And the resistance that you feel right now, it will dissolve in that love provided by the Two of Cups. So really don't worry about that. And that is, I think, precisely why your future self is showing up and telling you that keep going, keep doing this and commit, and you will be successful. But the success that you are currently pointed towards is, well, it feels like an emotional fulfillment when you finally find yourself in an environment that is really your home, that feels like home, that is very supportive and attentive to your needs, to your message, and very open to that, open and inviting towards you. So there is this beautiful mirroring going on in your future if only you keep going and if only you don't give up on your dream. We also have to have an oracle card to wrap this all up. Okay, so this is it. See, you have exchanging gifts. So again, keep going, keep doing what you are doing, because you will be eventually rewarded. The Two of Cups and this exchanging gifts card, they resonate pretty similarly, and I like the color pink because it reminds me of that love and that beautiful soft and warm feeling when you have finally found what you have been looking for and your heart just lights up. So the resistance and struggle that you feel right now, and maybe even drop of motivation that you may be facing right now, just work through it. Have faith, have hope, and keep doing, keep investing, because it will eventually pay off and you will be happy. The Two of Cups is happiness. You will be happy and you will find yourself in a more productive period of life where abundance is more readily available to you. And this is what your future self wants you to know. Your future self is already there. They have already received the gifts. So they are saying to you, okay, come on, hang on. You can do this. You can really do this. Just keep pushing forward and eventually you will get there. You will be in this beautiful and abundant world where you truly connect with your heart's desire, no matter what it is that you have in your mind and heart. So this is it. This is the message from your future self. Group number 3. I hope that you find it inspiring and helpful, and I'll talk to you soon in my next video. Bye-bye. Hi and welcome back, group number 4. This is your message from your future self if you picked the Nicoletta Ceccoli Tarot, which was the 4th deck in my selection. And today I will be doing something that I call the arrow spread. This spread is designed as the tip of the arrow and it indicates movement from the past to the future, touching upon the present moment. And also I will be having one card from the Oracle deck for additional guidance. Okay, but now, what is your present situation? What does your future self want you to focus on right now? And you have the 7 of Wands. Well, the artwork of this deck is absolutely amazing, and here you can see this creature in a costume of a devil and this little girl in his lap, and he's hitting the girl. So it could be that you are invited to focus on those areas of your life when you feel like you are being punished in some way, or limited, restricted in some way, or that you are not doing a good enough job, that you don't deserve to receive rewards of your effort. Anything like that, you should really pay a good attention to, because somehow this has to do with this important message that your future self holds for you and wants you to know. So, how are you being held back? What are those restrictions, and are they external? Are there any external obstacles that are preventing you from moving forward? Or is it something from the inside? Limiting beliefs, for example, or the thoughts that you are thinking about yourself. And maybe you are not letting yourself move past certain mental blocks. And that is the number one thing that is stopping you from expanding even more in your life and having even more in your life. So do think about that very carefully, because only you know what is the right answer for you at this moment and what specifically this message points towards. And if we take a look at the past, what has brought you here in this situation, then here you have the Three of Cups and also the Knight of Swords. So you have been very, very inspired to act, to take some inspired action, because the Three of Cups is this lovely energy of having fun, of being together with like-minded people, or in a situation that, or environment that really resonates with you, and there's a lot of joy and a lot of laughter, and it really indicates some good times, and you don't think about anything else. You are present in the present moment, and that's all there is, that's all you want. You enjoy yourself and your company, and it's so, so good. And then also you have the Knight of Swords, which is like a messenger and somebody who wants to explore new mental landscapes, if that makes sense. So it could be that you have found your calling in some way or something along those lines. It's like some sort of a realization has hit you, and you realize that, oh, this is what I want. This is what makes me feel good. This is something that I want more of. And then the Knight of Swords makes you start to strategize. So how can I get there? What can I do? How can I make this a reality and something that lasts forever even? Something that is a part of my life and something I can experience every single day. I want to wake up and feel like that every day. So I want to start taking concrete steps towards that, and I want to start looking, what can I do here to make my research? So how can I make this happen? How can I implement that? And then you bump into something, which is that Seven of Wands you have in your present energy, because you are not allowed to do that, really. And again, as I said, do look at the obstacles. What are those factors or forces or whatever that are preventing you from moving on with this? Because there's a lot of movement, a lot of energy and excitement, but here you kind of, no, I cannot do that. I cannot get past this something, either in my own head or people around me or my environment. Something is basically stopping me from achieving what I want. And your future self wants you to take a look at that and examine what it is that is preventing you. Because your future where you are moving towards is the High Priestess. So this is that greater purpose and greater vision that you currently don't see, but you will eventually discover. Something that you need to do. And the High Priestess is very intuitive and also very distant from the mundane efforts. So, all in all, you need to have that perspective. Because if you take a step back, if you zoom out, so to speak, and look at your life from a bigger perspective, like from a distance, then you can actually start seeing different patterns and the true importance of things. Because sometimes when you are in the midst of something, you cannot really perceive the true proportions of those things and events and what is going on. And you don't see other options, other influences that are at play there. So it's hard for you to figure it all out. And having this heightened vision and this sense of knowing that you really understand what is going on in your life, it's something you are moving towards, and it will bring you greater clarity in terms of this, what you want to achieve, what has inspired you to take that action. And you will also be able to see those current obstacles differently, from a different perspective. And maybe they won't seem obstacles anymore. Maybe just by connecting with your vision and finding that purpose, finding the meaning behind this inspiration, this impulse that urges you to move forward and to explore and ask questions and do your research. Maybe just by finding what is behind that and what truly inspires you here, what is that higher, deeper meaning for you, that in and of itself helps you move past all the obstacles that you may ever find in your path. And you won't blame yourself for anything, and you won't let other people blame you for anything, because you will know that, yes, this is the dream that I need to follow. This is my heart's calling that I need to follow. I cannot help myself. Sorry, this is how it is, and this is what I'm doing. I'm not putting blame on myself. I'm not putting blame on others, and I won't let others stop me. I will just keep doing my thing. And your future self really, really wants you to get that message and own it, because this is where you are headed towards. This is your future. You can really achieve that if only you allow that connection with that higher vision take place. And the Oracle card. What additional message can we get? Okay, here we go. Breathe. It's actually very similar to the High Priestess energy, because there is this serenity, this peacefulness, this inner stillness. And this is exactly the approach you need to take right now. Because if you want something really, really bad, and if you want to achieve that really, really bad, you can start to feel resistance. And you feel bad if things are not going your way, and if you do run into those obstacles or something that blocks you, something that doesn't work in your interest, and something that is against you. It just makes you feel frustrated and disappointed, and it's not that easy to stay connected with what you ultimately want. So just by having a peaceful moment and breathing and reconnecting with your breath, with your energy, is actually enough to reorient yourself and to realign yourself with your inner purpose, to get that inner clarity and awareness that this is what I need to do at this moment to get where I want to get. And these are the things that I won't pay attention to because they don't matter for me at this situation. They are not helping me, and me focusing on them is simply taking my focus away on things that matter the most. So practice that mindfulness and being present with yourself. Because being present and mindful will ensure that you stay connected with this beautiful energy that you have once discovered and that you want more of. You can really get there, you can achieve that, but it simply requires you to already be a part of that, to already live in it and make it a part of you by connecting with yourself and staying in that inner space where you can really have that higher perspective from. That will show you the truth. Okay, so this is what your future self wants you to know. Group number 4. I hope that you find this message helpful, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Hello, group number 5. So this is your tarot reading and your message from your future self if you picked the last tarot deck, the Good Tarot. And today for you I have chosen to do something that I call the arrow spread, which is a spread designed like a tip of the arrow to show direction from the past to the future, moving through the present moment. So this is what we are going to be doing for you today. And also I will be having one card from the Oracle deck for some additional guidance. Okay, your present moment. So what does your future self want you to pay attention to right now? And you have the 9 of water, or it is the 9 of cups in a more traditional tarot. So your future self wants you to focus on all the good things in life, to focus on those things that bring you joy, that really warm your heart and uplift your soul, and something that you really, really like, whatever it is. Comforting yourself, nurturing yourself, having some delicious food, or maybe surrounding yourself with beautiful and harmonious things. Anything that makes you feel good and that brings pleasure and joy to you. That is the nature of the 9 of water, and for some reason this is exactly what you have been asked to focus on in this message. And the reason for that could be that you are not doing enough of that in your life. Maybe you have forgotten how to take a proper care of yourself. Maybe you are working too much or being too busy helping other people and taking care of other people's needs, and now it's that time when you need to look at yourself and think what it is that you need for yourself, what you need to feel good. So do think about that. Why does this particular card has come up for you in your reading, group number 5? Yes, it could also be that if we go to the other extreme, that then you may be overindulging into something, and then this is like an invitation for you to pay attention to those things that you are doing too much. They are not bringing you that satisfaction. So that also could be a part of you and a part of your experience. So do think about that. But now the past, what has brought you in this situation? And you have the Three of Earth and Eight of Air. So this is the Three of Coins or Pentacles and Eight of Swords. So I would stick with the first example, that you are not taking enough care of yourself, group number 5. Even though, again, this is a general reading and you think for yourself and you see what resonates and what not, and how can you adapt the message to your specific situation. But I would go with the scenario that you are not taking a proper enough care for yourself, because the Three of Earth indicates that work and really physical efforts that you are putting into something to make something happen. It could be that you are working towards a certain goal, and it really takes all of you. It takes the best of you, and you need to invest in that. And you think that you cannot stop, you cannot rest, you cannot take care of yourself in the process, because everything you have you need to give to this project or whatever it is. It could be a family that you are taking care of, it could be your job, it could be your new business that you are trying to get off the ground. Again, general reading, you see what is it in your particular case. And the Eight of Air next to it may indicate that there could be some mental barriers that you could be facing, and those mental barriers are actually preventing you from seeing and perceiving the abundance that you have already at this very moment. So for some reason it does seem that you have entered this, whatever it is, project or endeavor, you have entered it with a limited mindset, and you sort of approach it from this perspective of being smaller than the actual goal, or not deserving, not worthy enough. There is a bit of a victim mentality to the Eight of Air, and it kind of feels that you are saying, but it's not going to work anyways. And you might not be even conscious of that. You are still working, you are still putting in your efforts, but then somewhere at the back of your mind you have this little voice telling you, but who are you to be accomplished in this? It's not going to work anyways. You are not good enough anyways. You are not being able to do that. And even you don't hear that voice every day loudly and clearly, and you keep doing what you are doing, it is still there. And it's kind of fusing into this goal of yours and turning you into a servant, not master. And I think that what your future self wants you to understand that is that you are not a servant to your situation. You are a master, a creator of it. So you have every right to act accordingly, to act like a master, to feel accomplished, to feel competent. And that is exactly why you deserve all those good things that the Nine of Water can bring you. And your future self really, I think what it really wants you to do is to become more self-confident and have stronger belief in your own abilities, to build up that self-confidence, just like you are building up this project. The same way you build up your confidence. And you don't make yourself smaller than you actually are, or weaker than you actually are, because you are not. And one way you can actually show yourself that this is indeed what you are thinking of yourself, that you are indeed worthy, is by giving yourself those things that you want or desire or crave. And by making yourself feel good and comfortable, you actually reassure that you are already enough. You already have that abundance and prosperity that you are trying to build here, and that will eventually change the way you look at the whole thing in general. Your future direction, where you are headed towards, is the 10 of air. So I think that what you will need to do, group number 5, is you will really need to get rid of something that you don't really need. And most likely than not, it is your own beliefs, your own limiting negative belief patterns that are currently preventing you from truly connecting with the sense of prosperity within and also without, to create it in your real life. There is something that is there that you absolutely don't need, that is absolutely not in your best interest to hold on to those beliefs. Because by holding on to them and by holding them true, you actually attract people and situations and circumstances that prove that those beliefs are true. They happen in accordance with those beliefs. But you don't want that. You don't need that. And your future self wants you to show that. It just wants to grab you by your shoulders, shake you a little bit and say, hey, wake up. You don't need that. It's BS. It's total BS, and it's something that you can really be without. You don't need that. Start taking a good care of yourself and start paying attention to the things that you love and have more of them in your life. And just get rid of everything else you don't need, that don't serve you, and don't even question whether you should be doing that or not, because why waste your time? So group number 5, don't waste your time on holding on to something that doesn't serve you. Whatever it is, just cut it off. Get rid of that, eradicate it, erase it, do whatever you need to get yourself in a better place where you really take care of your own needs. And the Oracle card. Here it is. Treasure Island. So you have to implement some positive thinking here with regards to yourself and see how much you already have. Because those treasures, they may not actually be something on a horizon, somewhere far away in a distant future. Those treasures could actually be something you have in front of you right at this very moment. And by tuning into this 9 of water energy and really cherishing yourself, nurturing yourself, giving yourself the opportunity to enjoy those beautiful things in life, will unlock that treasure island, and you will see that you are already there. You are already living on a treasure island, and you are that treasure. First and foremost, you are the treasure, that beautiful and unique gem that you need to take care of and savor, and you are your own best asset. Please remember that. And your future self wants to remind you that you are indeed magnificent. And anything less than that just leaves your life. It has no place in your life anymore. So this is how you need to think of yourself, group number 5. And I truly hope that you will follow the advice of your future self and that you will be able to be happy, because you truly deserve that. Okay, so this is my message to you, or to be more specific, the message of your future self to you. And I'll talk to you soon in my next video. Bye bye.